Hello friends, in this lab demonstration I will be explaining auto scaling in AWS. So what this auto scaling is, we are having few instances, and as the load increases, the load becomes more than the desired capacity or the threshold, automatically the new instance will be uh, activated and it will start handling the request. And as the load decreasing, the instances will be turned off and the load will be balanced accordingly. So this thing we'll be implementing in today's lab demonstration in Amazon AWS. To start with the implementation part, let's create a server first. So I am navigating to services, compute and EC2 service. In EC2 service, I am selecting the option as launch instance. I'm giving the name as server 1 and I am installing the Windows Microsoft 2022 base server using the inbuilt AMI. Then instance type is T2 micro. Key pair login, I am creating a new key pair with the name as server 1. It is saying key pair already it is, so let's put a hyphen. So server 1, create a new key pair. So rest all things I am keeping it as default and I am selecting the launch instance option. So I am able to see this success message, successfully initiated the launch of the instance. I'm navigating back to the instances and I am able to see server 1, the state is in pending state. So I will be waiting until this state is running. So let me refresh this instance. I'm not going through these all servers. These are all in the terminated state. So please ignore all these servers. So this is the server that I have recently created. The state is all pending yet. So let's refresh the page once. Now the state is running. The server is working perfectly fine. Now to create an auto scaling part, I will be creating the AMI and the snapshot of this server. So as of now, I am not having any snapshot, not having any AMI image. To create an AMI image of this server, I am navigating to the actions, image and templates, create image. I am giving the name of this image as AMI server 1 and I am selecting the option as tag image and snapshots together and I am selecting the create image option. So once I click on create image, it is giving me the success notification that the currently creating the AMI image with this name for the instance that I have requested for. Navigate to the AMIs and I am able to see one AMI being created and the status of the same is pending. Along with, if I navigate to the snapshot, I am not having any snapshot as of now. So let's wait for this AMI to be created. It will take a couple of minutes to create the AMI. The status is pending. Yet the status is pending, so you should wait a while till the status becomes available. Yet now the status is also pending, so we should wait a couple of more minutes. So let's wait for another more minutes so that the status becomes available. Now, as you are able to see, the status is available. This AMI has been created successfully. And if I navigate to snapshots, I'm able to see one snapshot as well, which is having the status as completed, is also created along with this AMI. Now we'll be using this AMI and we'll be setting up the auto scaling. So under auto scaling, I am navigating to the auto scaling groups and I am creating the auto scaling group. So once you select this auto scaling groups, you need to launch the template. So auto scaling group name, give any name, say auto scaling group 1. Launch template, you are not having any template, so you need to create a launch template first. So give it the name. So say launch template 1. I'm just giving the application iOS images. I'm selecting the AMI that we have just created, that is AMI server 1. Instance type, I am selecting the instance type as T2 micro, free tier eligible. Key pair, you can select the key pair as the default key pair for the first machine so that the common password will work everywhere. Rest all settings you can keep it as default and you can click on launch template. So create launch template. You are getting the message as successfully created launch template. So view launch templates. You are able to see the launch template being created over here. Moving back to the auto scaling groups, create an auto scaling group, give the name as auto scaling group 1. Now we are having the launch template as well. I am selecting the launch template. So it is giving by default version 1. Moving next, VPC is by default the default VPC associated with my machine. The availability zones and subnets, instance type requirements. So it is asking me for the availability zones and subnets. So select where your machines are located. My machine is in US East 1A, so I am selecting that particular subnet. No load balancer. If you want to attach a existing load balancer or a new load balancer, you can do so as well. So VPC lattice integration options. So presently we are now having no VPC lattice service. So health checkup, this is the grace period. So we are keeping it as 300 seconds. You can increase or decrease this time. So by default it is 300 seconds. Let's change it to 60 seconds. That is the health check grace period. So I'm selecting next. So now it is asking for the desired capacity at the start. How many machines would be requiring? So I want one machine. Minimum capacity, I require at least one machine. And at the max, how many machine, the maximum machines I require. Say I will change this number to 4. So maximum machines for this demonstration, I am keeping it as 4. Then it is asking for the scaling policies. So I'm keeping the scaling policies as default. Instance scale in production, it's the optional field. Here the maximum capacity, it depends upon the CPU utilization. If the CPU utilization is more, the new machine will be merged up, will be started up, will be created, right? So at the max, I want 4 machines to be there, depending upon the CPU capacity. So I am selecting next. Okay, so selecting next, I am able to see the add notification. This is the optional field. I am not changing anything. Moving to the next. Tax is also the optional field. I am moving next. So this all is the review of what all configurations we have selected based on the network, load balancing, health checks. I have changed it to 60 seconds. Additional settings, then group size. So desired capacity is 1, minimum capacity is 1, and maximum capacity is 4. And this is the group size and scaling policies. Rest all settings I have kept as default. And finally, I am selecting the option now to create the auto scaling group. So this auto scaling group has been created with the name as ASG1. It is status is updating the capacity. Now let's move back to the instances, and I am able to see this instance being automatically created and the state is pending. So this instance has been created. The reason behind this is I have opted for the desired capacity as 1. That's why the one server, the one instance is being getting ready in the initial phase with the help of auto scaling. Now the server is ready and running. Now let's increase the load on this server. So for that I am connecting to this server, RDP client, get password, private key file, decrypt password, copying the password, connecting to the RDP, remote desktop protocol, log into the machine, asking for the password, simply pasting the password, asking for the certificate, clicking on yes, and finally I am able to connect to this particular machine. So server 1 is starting up. Just wait for a while. In the meanwhile, the server gets ready. So you are able to see the server is up and ready now. Click on yes for the networks. So now let's create a batch file to increase the server load. For that, I am navigating to the notepad. So selecting the notepad, I am writing the file name as as.bat, and I am saving this file with the same name as as.bat on the desktop, autoscaling.bat. And I'm changing this save as type to all files so that it can become the bat file, and I select on save to save this file. I'm able to see this file onto the desktop now. I'm double clicking on this. This file gets started up. Double click on this file again to increase the load on the server. So you can click on this file multiple times so that accordingly the load on the server will be enhanced. So just to increase the load, we can do this process. Okay, now we have started with several instances of this bat file. So let's start some more. Okay, now let's move to the AWS interface and check the CPU utilization of this server over here in monitoring. So let's see the CPU utilization. Yeah, you are able to see. mm, Let me scroll this page a bit. Yes. So you are able to see the CPU utilization has started increasing. This CPU utilization will automatically be updated after 60 seconds. So wait for a few more minutes. So after 60 seconds, it will automatically be updated. When it is more than 100, automatically the new machine will be set up. You can see the load on this server starts increasing. We have some bat files running on this server. Let's wait for a couple of minutes more. So let me open more files on the server so that this load can become some more. So okay, let's check now. So I am refreshing this page. So it is increased a bit. So let's wait for another 60 seconds to get the updated CPU utilization. It takes some time to show the updated CPU utilization. So let's wait for another couple of minutes. So let's try terminating this machine which has been auto generated. So automatically, when we terminate this instance, automatically a new instance will be created just to balance the load on and the CPU utilization of server 1 machine. So we have terminated this machine. You can see automatically a new machine will be generated in a couple of minutes. Let's try refreshing this part. So this machine is terminated now. Let's refresh. So you are able to see we have terminated this machine, and this new machine has automatically emerged with the instance ID as I04927F96039CD 9D45, and the state is pending now. So automatically this machine has emerged up, and it starts creating. This is the main feature of auto scaling to balance the load, to balance the CPU utilization. Automatically new instances are being set up, and now this instance is ready and it is in the running state to balance the load and the CPU utilization. Also, let's check with the CPU utilization of server 1. So navigate to monitoring, and the CPU utilization is 99.9%. Once this crosses 100%, so automatically the new instance will be set up. So that is the main use of auto scaling part, to balance the load and the CPU utilization on a server. So this is main use of the auto scaling groups. Create the server, start the load, and as the load increases, it will keep on increasing the number of instances. At the maximum, it can create 4 instances, which we have kept during the configuration part. So to balance the load and to balance the CPU utilization. So this increases or decreases the machines on the basis of CPU utilization, or we can say the on the basis of the load that is available on the server. So that is all about this lab. So let me tell you that how we can remove this all instances, this all machines. If we create these machines, it will automatically be starting up or creating a new instance. So to delete this setup, we will be moving to the auto scaling groups. So first we need to remove this auto scaling group. So select this auto scaling group and click on actions and delete. To delete this, we need to enter the keyword as delete. So this auto scaling group deletion is in process. So it is taking a few minutes to remove this auto scaling group. You can see now the auto scaling group has been deleted. No auto scaling groups found in the current region. To further continue with the cleanup process, let's move back to the launch templates and delete this launch template as well. So delete template, enter the delete keyword. So launch template has been deleted successfully. Moving back to the instances part, I'm selecting the instances, terminate the instance. Also in auto scaling, when you delete the auto scaling groups, the instances that has been created by the auto scaling group will also be terminated automatically. You need to delete the instances that you have created. Like in this case, I have created server 1. So this server 1 I need to terminate. For the other instances, like these two instances, these are created by the auto scaling groups. So if I delete the auto scaling group, automatically these two instances will also be deleted with that particular group. Also, don't forget to delete the AMIs. So navigate to AMIs, select this AMI, go to action and deregister AMI. Also check with the snapshots. So select this snapshot, action and delete snapshot. So instances got terminated. So remote desktop service has ended. Click on OK. Security groups. I am removing these security groups as well. Key pairs. Select the key pairs, actions and delete key pair. So you need to perform this cleanup process at the end of the lab, just to verify and make sure that you are not having any running things available in your account, and you are not charged of those all things that are there. I think you are pretty good to go close this lab now. So this is all about the auto scaling part. Hope you have enjoyed working on the auto scaling groups and auto scaling in Amazon EC2. So if you have any queries, feel free to contact. Thank you everyone and wish you a happy learning. Thank you.